are about to have a very bad day.
Tell me about it.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Bend down, isn't it a pity?
It has begun!
It's showtime.
I must break.
I'll be back.
This is Video Store Clerks. Welcome to the store.
Hello, Neverland. Hey. What's happening up, everybody? It's Tuesday, 10 p.m. That means it's time for your Video Store Clerks podcast. I'm Chad Mang.
I'm Dave.
Nasty.
Nasty. Every time you say that, I just keep thinking of that Nasty Girl song. The Nasty Boy.
Jan Jackson song.
Beverly Oaks Cop. Anyway, tonight we will be talking about the 1995, yes, the 30th anniversary of Die Hard with a Vengeance. Came out in theaters last Monday on the 19th. Well, I guess it would have been Friday back then, but whatever, you got the gist. Anyway, we're starting the show like we usually do. We got some news. Then we'll talk about the feature. Then we'll do the clip of the week. Then we'll run some ads and get the fuck out of here. So
you make it sound so easy.
It is just that easy. It's simple. So as we do every week, we're going to start it off with
RCMP are searching for a man who has been spotted completely naked at a campground several times over the last month. And as Terry Fikowski reports, they want to find him and find out why he's naked.
all right.
Oh, she could barely contain herself.
And we missed one of the clerks. I'm Mike.
Yep.
I'm Mike. Mike's playing poker in Vegas at the moment. He may be stopping by at some point in the show.
Hope you're doing well.
Cha-ching.
Win that money.
Win that money.
Cash rules everything around me. This week in our top 10, we have number 10, Hurry Up Tomorrow. Brought in $715K this week, doing $4.7 million in the last 2 weeks.
No clue what that is.
Huh?
I have no idea what that is.
We watched the trailer last week, right?
The one Jenna Ortega's in?
Oh yeah, the one with her and the fucking the other guy, the Dream,
the guy from The Weeknd.
Or The Weeknd, yeah.
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Not a clue.
Number 9, falling off quick, was The Accountant 2. I was kind of shocked to see it down there that low.
Had a lot of competition.
1.9 mil this week, doing 62.9 the last 5 weeks. Yeah, a lot of shit, crazy shit came out. Number 8, a Minecraft movie, did $2.1 million this week, bringing its 8 weeks to $421 million. How you doing?
Wow. I'm all right.
Yeah. Number 7, Friendship, did 4.5 mil this week, but out for 3 weeks now, did 7.2 million.
I wonder if
That's
that's
the new Paul Rudd movie.
Yeah.
Where he's an asshole.
I wonder if it's any good.
Isn't it an A24 movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And then number 6 is The Last Rodeo. First week out, did 5.2 million. I'm assuming it's about a rodeo. Didn't watch the trailer.
Let's make a movie about it.
All right. They did. Number 5, Sinners, did 8.6 mil this week, doing 256 mil the last 6 weeks.
Did really well, man.
It's killing it. I still haven't seen it, but I plan on it.
Same.
What are you doing this weekend?
Going to see Sinners.
All right. Number 4, Thunderbolts, did 9.1 mil this week. The last 4 weeks did $171 million. With number 3 being Final Destination Bloodlines. $19.3 million this week, doing $89.5 million the last 2 weeks.
Did you hear about the accident that happened at the screening of that?
For the roof collapse?
Yeah. Man. Anybody that was on drugs during that screening really fucking regretted that shit.
Talk about feel around.
God.
Like, is this part of the show?
Is this a 40X version?
God. Terrifying.
Number 2, Mission Impossible: The Reckoning, The Final Reckoning, did $63 million. And there's other Tom Cruise news. Terry Crews, they're brothers. Me and Mike figured it out.
Oh, shit.
Leaving number 1 to Lilo and Stitch, doing $146 million. Kiddies, look out. Parents are taking all their kids to the movies. I've never seen any Lilo and Stitch movies. I don't know.
I think there's only one. Maybe there's 2. I mean, I've only seen the first one. It's kind of funny, actually. I actually want to see this new one. It's not gonna be much different from the animated one, but Stitch is pretty cool.
I don't know.
He's a little gremlin.
Never seen it.
Yeah. So it looks like the summer movie season finally kicking off. Felt like it got a late start this year.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
All right. Other news, film-related news. Martin Scorsese is getting his own docu-series on Apple TV talking about his life as a film director.
Okay. That can be
Probably going to
interesting.
be a long one.
That's going to be at least 3 hours.
I mean, it's a series, so it's probably going to be 3 hours an episode.
Well, true. If it's about him, I'm going to say it. I was trying to make the joke of like every movie he makes is like 3
Oh, I
hours.
know. They're all like, think what was the last one he came out with? Well, Mikey said the roof shit was fake news.
Is it fake? Because I saw those places that said it was fake, and some places they were saying it was real.
I don't know if you see it on Facebook. Odds are it's fake news.
Probably not.
Hence, fake book. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to be in the new A24 psycho thriller, and he plays a motivational guru. Going crazy. That could be it.
I don't believe
No,
it.
it's not fake news. A ceiling actually did collapse during the Final Destination bloodlines. Cinema Oco La Plata in Argentina on May 19th, 2025. Injured several moviegoers. Yeah, so that's not fake. That's real. Anyway.
That was from a Captain America screening. Well, either way, somebody got shitted on in the theater.
Somebody's
Either way. God damn it.
Somebody's movie-going experience went bad. Joel Schumacher cut of Batman Forever was going to be screened, and it got shut down because they said, no, nobody will ever see this movie.
Probably for the best. I mean, let's just be honest here.
Plus, they tried to say Argentina or some shit, and the firefighter had a USA patch.
totally fake.
Okay.
All right. He's all in. All right, so here's the
I mean,
Tom Cruise news.
Peoplemagazine.com even said that it actually happened at that. So I don't know.
It's hard to say. Is anything real?
Fox News,
Fuck it.
Reddit, Republic World News. I mean, there's all kinds of places that say that it actually happened. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know anything. Go on.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's
Everything's
real.
fake.
Nothing exists. Raw fake.
Like I said, we had some more Tom Cruise news.
Oh, yeah. Snooze. Go on.
So, Top Gun 3 and Days of Thunder 2 are greenlit. Also, they're trying to make a spinoff of the Tropic Thunder character, Les Grossman.
I'm all in. Let's go.
That might be too much.
That'd be great.
I mean, it has potential, but that might be too much.
He's the fucking man.
I think I'm just at a
record.
Yeah, I think I'm at that point where I just can't stand Tom Cruise's face. I don't like anything he does. Mission Impossible should have been done a long time ago. Like, should have been finished a long time ago. Like, I'm tired of seeing his face. Like, he's a fucking lunatic. Like, I don't think he should be in anything. Fuck him.
I'm not a Cruise fan, but I do commend the man for doing all of his own stunts.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, because he's really a fucking demon set to lower the standards.
Love the Tommy Cruise kid. Mission Impossible was decent.
Cocktail.
The third one's the only one I like, and that's only because Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
Yeah, he was pretty dope in that one. That's probably my favorite one, actually, out of the three.
He was a good villain in that.
Damn good villain.
For sure.
But I do believe that is the end of the news, which there wasn't a whole lot going on this week. Nobody died.
No, nobody died, and no remake.
Well, I mean,
actually, Top Gun and Days of Thunder.
Well, I mean, Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty passed away. So it's still,
yeah.
Mike said the dude that wrote Hulk Hogan's theme died. Rick Derringer?
Oh, Rick Derringer, yeah.
So never mind.
Well, there goes
Sorry.
that. And the only celebrities that had birthdays today that I knew of were ones that passed away.
wow.
So there you go. Vincent Price and Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
So they would have been old.
And Peter Cushing.
Oh yeah, he
All
was.
three of them. It's so weird to me that
They all have the same birthday.
Yeah. Three of the most iconic horror actors share the same fucking birthday.
So May 27 is the day.
Yeah.
If you were born today, your kid may be a fucking horror god. Rick Derringer, we got him, Mike. We're on it. G.I. Joe is there.
We should have did No Holds Barred tonight.
Could have.
Or Suburban Commando.
Ooh.
I was frozen today.
You missed it.
No, the movie we're doing tonight.
You missed it. Yeah, tonight is Die Hard with a Vengeance, a.k.a. Simon Says. That was going to be the original title. But like I said, the movie came out May 19th, 1995. 128 minutes runtime. A budget of $90 million, doing $366.1 million in the box office. Fucking crazy.
I remember going to see it. I
do too.
How do you remember?
I don't know.
I don't remember shit about my childhood.
Me and Mom went to go see it in theaters.
And I wasn't even that old. I mean, it wasn't young either, though. I was, 14? Oh, I would have been 14. So I don't fucking know. You're a weirdo. Screenplay by Jonathan Hensley and directed by John McTiernan.
Awesome director.
Yeah, they did all kinds of shit.
Predator, Die Hard, this. I mean, right there. Just those movies right there.
Well, they said he was actually up to do the third installment of Batman, but he chose to do this instead.
Good.
So we got the Schumacher.
I don't know if he'd be a good fit for Batman, for a Batman movie, though.
I don't know. It would have been
especially not the Batman movie that Warner Brothers fucking wanted.
It would have been dark. But once again, starring as John McClane, Bruce Willis wouldn't have it any other way. Then you got Sam Jackson in this film playing Zeus Carver, who was actually originally supposed to be Lawrence Fishburne playing the role of Zeus Carver. But once McTiernan saw Pulp Fiction, he said, I want that guy. So Fishburne ended up getting a piece of the pie because he got a little settlement out of the deal because they had a verbal agreement. And then originally he wanted Sean Connery to play Simon.
Oh, wow.
But he did not want to play because they just got finished doing Red October not long before that. So he knew Connery. And then he just didn't want to play a villain like that.
Well, I'm glad because Jeremy Irons kicks ass in this movie.
He does. Jeremy Irons is the fucking man.
Amazing actor.
I could not see anybody else playing this role.
Right.
Such a good time.
This might be the first movie I think I ever seen Irons in that I can remember. It was like my first exposure to him as a kid.
It's the only one I can remember, but I'm pretty sure I probably saw him in other stuff. But yeah,
I think he seems like he mostly did like dramas and stuff like that.
He did say that this movie brought him back to full circle whenever he filmed this because he was playing Simon Says. And then apparently, like in his early career, he was on a BBC show, like a kids show, and they played Simon Says on the BBC show. I was like, that's fucking weird. Well, this movie, as they tried doing a Die Hard 3 a few times, and then it kind of got pushed on to other things because they had another script where they wanted to do it, but Bruce Willis didn't like it because he said it sounded too much like Under Siege. And that script went on to be Speed 2.
Ooh. What a bad movie.
But then also, this script was not necessarily supposed to be Die Hard 3. They said apparently it was going to be a script for a new Lethal Weapon film. Which, after watching it again, I can see it because they jump back and forth between what would have been Riggs and Murtaugh and then just regular police stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it would have played out perfect either way.
I can see that.
But with the chemistry that Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis had, even though they didn't cross paths really on Pulp Fiction, but for maybe a scene whenever they were in the bar. But yeah, their chemistry was fucking on point. And Sam Jackson said he loves Die Hard. Is one of his. He said he's probably seen it over like 40 times or whatever. So it was a good choice in my opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Like, I don't know. This is right around Sam Jackson's pinnacle where he was fucking really taking off.
Yeah.
So this one definitely put him on the map. And if it wasn't for him doing Pulp Fiction and getting that job over Lawrence Fishburne to play Jules, then he might not have got this movie. It could have been Fishburne. And then I'm down with Fishburne too, though. So
yeah, it'd been weird though.
Just because we've seen it this way. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like if you go and, well, we'll get to the alternate ending at some point. Probably after. But anyway, like you said, we had the song in our intro. The very beginning of the movie, the screen, the title comes up, and then boom, you just get the Lovin' Spoonful Summer in the City song.
Perfect
And it's
intro.
such a perfect
Oh, it's
intro.
great. Yeah, it's one of my favorite intros. Yeah.
Some nice clips in New York City that they took, and then boom, you just hear you just see this big ass explosion.
It gets started right away.
Yeah,
like it's so simple. It's like
does not
the
hesitate.
title card, establishing shots in New York. Okay, we're in New York City. Then boom, and the
Chaos.
movie just takes off and it doesn't stop.
It was loud as fuck in the theater. I remember that. And it took you by surprise too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, oh, da, 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 and then it's like boom, everybody's like jumps back in their seat.
Yeah, you just
So
see
good.
a fucking giant explosion, and then just it cuts to like the New York fucking police office, and
Yeah.
it's just fucking chaos. Fucking everybody's running around, phones are going off, and then you get over to Inspector Walter Cobb, Larry Brigman, and then the phone rings, and then the secretary's like, "Hey, you got to take this phone call," and then you hear Simon's voice. So he's calling there for McClane, but which I thought was weird too, was because throughout the movie, like after you watch it, you kind of go back and then rewatch it, and then you hear this part, and just the fact that he set up this whole crazy day for McClane, but he didn't even realize that McClane is suspended.
Yeah.
So you think he would have knew that from the jump, but
Maybe he did.
But he talks to Cobb, and then he's like, "Look, like I need to play this game with McClane, so you better go fucking find him." So then they go look for him, and then he's on a bender because the next shot you go into the back of a truck, they find McClane, and then they're just talking, seeing how he's doing and everything, telling him he smells like shit.
Yeah. He's got the very bad hangover.
He has a very bad hangover, and he looks like shit. And then next thing you know, he gets out of a van. They throw on a sign, and he's down in Harlem walking around the streets. And then that's whenever you see Sam Jackson come into the scene where he's running what is he, like a keysmith or like a pawn shop guy, kind of like, I don't know.
Well, he said he's
Master of all
He
trades.
said he's a locksmith and he's an
Like an
electrician,
electrician?
right?
Yeah.
It looked like a repair shop. I
So his nephews are trying to sell him a radio, and then he realizes that it's a stolen property by some other bully in school. And then they're like, "Hey, uncle, there's a guy across the street." And then they see Bruce Willis, and then he goes over and starts talking to Bruce Willis, and then they fucking get picked up. After they get attacked, they pretty much hijack a fucking cab car and then just take off back to police headquarters.
Well, real quick though, like, let's go ahead and just make this known for those that aren't aware. The sign says something not very nice,
Something
in a
nice
bad area. But see, I love that scene though, because Sam Jackson, like, when he finally is told by McClane that, like, he's, you know, he has to do this, or there's another explosion, all that shit or whatever. And he's like, "God damn it." He's like, "Yeah, no." And and then he finds the gun on his back and shit when he, like, they rip the sign off of him and everything. Like, it's a pretty intense scene though. It really is.
And it sets up how their day is going to go.
Yeah.
And how they do not really care for each other, which why would you? But I know, like, they said whenever they had made the sign, it wasn't actually on there. They photoshopped the shit in later. So that's good.
That is good.
My dad hated that part.
It's not a good scene, but the conversation in the car whenever he's like, because the guy on the corner that's going after McClane, he says, "Hey, Zeus."
Yeah.
And then, not knowing that his name is Zeus, he thinks his name is Jesus. So then it brings up the whole conversation in the car. Like, "Why do you keep calling me Jesus?" He's like, "The guy on the corner said it was Jesus." He's like, "No, he said Jesus. Like, Father of Apollo, Mount Olympus. Don't fuck with me or I'll shove a lightning bolt up your ass." Like, that whole fucking speech is great.
Yeah.
But then they get back to the police station, and they're like, because Sam Jackson gets his arm cut, and then Simon ends up calling to talk to McClane, and then he's asking about his buddy that helped him out or whatever. And then he's like, "It took me much planning for this." What the fuck did he say anyway? He said something about
you interfered with a well-laid plan.
Yeah.
He's like, "You could stick your well-laid plan up your well-laid ass." And then he
fucking hangs up the phone. Then McClane starts laughing.
Well, the shrink's in there. The shrink talks a little bit. And is that the part where Charlie shows him how the bomb works?
Right before the phone rings. They're having that conversation. And they find a bomb in Chinatown. And it's this liquid shit.
Yeah, and it's like there's two liquids, and if you separated, they're fine. But if you mix them, it causes the explosion.
And then he mixes some up on a little paper clip and throws it at a chair, and the chair fucking blows up. And then the one chick starts yelling at him, which the bomb guy is Charlie Weiss, played by, what the hell is his name? Kevin Chamberlain. These aren't real glasses. I probably should get some real ones. Seeing far away.
You should have rubbed your eyeball. There you go.
But that scene cracks me up. Just because that's some shit that I would do. 100%. Mm-hmm. And I would just run around the whole fucking place just throwing paper clips because I'm the asshole. Like, I always like playing with fire.
Is that also the part where, like, the police, like, chief or whatever, he's like telling him he needs to, like, chill out because he's like, "Why is he gonna put on a dress and fuck me?" He goes, "No, I was gonna say he was gonna kill you."
Yeah.
That scene? Okay.
Yeah, that's whenever he's talking to him. And then so now Simon has sets a new task for McClane and Zeus to go down to a payphone, and he'll call with instructions. So there's someone on the phone, and then they have to get her off, and then fucking the phone rings, and he's like, "Why was the line busy?" And he's like, "It's a public phone. What do you want me to say?" And he's like, "You simply say there was a lady on it, and it took you a minute to get her off." So then they know he's looking. And then they're sitting there, and then fucking Zeus, like, grabs the phone off the lady or whatever before and slams it down. He's like, "I can get used to this police shit." So then they have the argument of who needs who more. And then it turns out, like, damn well, like, McClane needs Zeus way more. Because if Zeus walks off, his day is just going to go normal. McClane's is still going to be shit.
Yeah.
But he tells him a riddle and then tells him there's a fucking bomb in the trash can. And then they figure out the riddle, and then they're 10 seconds late. And they dive on the ground thinking there's a fucking bomb in this trash can, yelling and screaming and telling everybody to get up. And the one guy's like, "Hi, welcome to New York."
Yeah.
But then that's whenever you kind of realize that this is actually a game going in place, because he even breaks down and he says, "I didn't say Simon says." So now you know, like, okay, so whenever he says Simon, we better jump.
Yeah.
And then Simon tells them they have to go 90 blocks in 30 minutes in New York City, which is damn near impossible. So he can get to the number 3 train stop and answer a phone, and then I guess solve another riddle. But that whole fucking scene cracks me up. So then they steal that fucking cab car, and then he's like, "I used to drive a cab. The fastest way downtown is what did he say? Fucking, he says somewhere
I
else."
think he says north, and he's like, "Well, we seem to be going east."
Yeah, and he's like, "I told you." He's like,
Whatever.
"We can get on through the park." He's like, "I told you Park Drive was backed up." He's like, "I said through the park." So they start driving through the park, which apparently is something that Hensley wanted to do his whole life, he said. That's why he wrote this scene in there. Because he just wanted to bypass everything, go through the park, and then just say, fuck it. So he's fucking like dodging all these fucking people.
Yeah,
He fucking runs over a mime almost.
Yeah, and we should be clear that this scene and the train scene coming up, there's no CGI bullshit in this movie. It's
Stunt
all
drivers.
I think they made the extra sign waivers too, liability forms.
Brutal. Bring Mike's comment up real quick, because he makes a really good point about that first scene there.
It's a testament to Zeus's character in the sign scene. Despite his feelings on race, he's smart enough to know the effect a white man dying in Harlem would have on. Sorry, we got a pop up. Would have on the community. Yeah, he did say.
Yeah, he's like,
Because McClane was like, "Why'd you save my ass back there?" Because Zeus is he's trying to leave, and he's like, "Why'd you save my ass?" He's like, "I didn't. I saved a white cop from getting killed in Harlem. If one white cop gets killed in Harlem, then we got 1,000 white cops, all of them with itchy trigger fingers." Got it?
You got it. That is a good scene. This whole fucking movie's great. Like I said, it's 128 minutes, but this shit doesn't seem like it's any longer than like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like, just like the way the scenes are. It's like I said, he goes down to the train. So then at one point, McClane knows they're pretty much fucked. So he's like, "Well, I'm going to try to get on the train, and then you get to the fucking station." He's like, he's like, "You cover my ass, and I'll cover yours." He's like, "What if we both fail?" He's like, "We're both fucked." So fucking McClane's on this fucking train, like, trying to look for something suspicious or whatever. Meanwhile, Jackson's down in the subway trying to answer a phone, getting stopped by a subway cop.
Yeah.
And then McClane's still walking down through the aisles. And what's funny is whenever that one girl screams, whenever he's like, "Let me get your legs," and she just picks up and starts screaming. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then he sees that fucking phone on the wall, and he's like, and I don't think I've ever seen a phone like that on the subway or on a metro car or anywhere that just says call for police. Like, that whole fucking thing's just weird. So then he kind of like moves it down and realizes it's the bomb. So then he takes it to throw it off the thing, which is fucking weird because so he throws it off the back of the train. At the same time, Sam Jackson's like, "Y'all might want to get down."
Yeah.
It's about to go up. But McClane comes up laughing or whatever after everything is done, which I know he's just happy to be alive, but it's like, you realize probably about 50 people just died and you're just sitting here laughing even though you just got blown up. That shit seemed kind of dark to me. Like, after I was like rewatching it.
Yeah.
He's fucking having the time of his life.
What'd they say? Because Walter asked that other cop's name was it Ricky? Ricky. It was like pregnant woman's water broke. Some guys.
No, that was Joe.
Some So some guy's pacemaker stopped and a bunch of scratches.
Yeah.
They didn't actually say anybody got killed.
Yeah, the other police officer, Joe Lambert, by Graham Greene.
Ricky's the one that with the lottery ticket.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Ricky was the other guy.
I'm bad with names.
Little Ricky.
Which comes into play later on.
Pretty Ricky. Huh? Comes on with what?
Because when they first find McClane and they have McClane in the with the truck, the paddy wagon. McClane asks what were the lottery numbers, and they all the cops in New York play their badge numbers. It's like a 4-digit number, and that like Chuck said, that'll come into play later.
4667.
Was that the number?
That's the lottery number that hit. The guy's Ricky's badge number is 6991.
Okay, 6991. Anyway, sorry. Where were we? Oh, don't forget the part where that Wall Street guy jumps in the cab with Sam Jackson.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Whenever they're he's getting ready to go there, and the guy's like, he's like, "This is not a cab. You don't understand." He just takes off anyway because the guy won't get out. And then by the end, the guy just looks fucking terrified.
Yeah, because the guy gives him attitude about it, and he's like, "Okay."
Like these action scenes just fucking go crazy because like there's always like this split between two of them, so you're just bouncing back and forth with the two characters just constantly. So like they're trying to like make sure they don't fuck up, but then them splitting up ends up fucking them up because Sam does get to the phone in time, and then the only reason why they're not in compliance is because McClane's not with him.
Yeah.
So either way, they were fucked. Because he even says it. He's like, "What are the odds of us getting down here?" And he's like, "Zilch." None. And he's like, "Right." He's like, "They wanted this bomb to go down here." Which where were they? Fucking Wall Street.
But we as the audience still we don't know that yet.
Right. So like they're down at the end of the train station, and then they all get pulled in with the FBI guys because they're going to get like kind of like debrief McClane or try to figure out if he knows who's behind this, and then they show him a bunch of pictures or whatever. And like that whole scene cracks me up too, because like just like the boredom on their faces when they're like, "What about this guy?" And he's like, "It's like, you notice anything strange?" He's like, "Well, I do have a little burning sensation between my toes. I just thought it was some athlete's foot or something. I don't know."
Yeah, there's two FBI agents there. The one that's chewing on his glasses and the other guy. But then in the back of the van is there's this guy, an older guy, sunglasses on, not really saying anything. He's just kind of looking out the window. Even McClane's kind of like, "What the fuck is this guy's deal?"
Yeah, I don't think they ever say his name, do they?
I don't think so.
Because I
forgot.
Whenever they get on the phone with Simon, he's like, "Now, who from the FBI is with you? I know Agent Cross." He's like, "Say hello, Andrew." And he's like, "Bill?"
Because he didn't say that other guy's name.
Yeah, he's like, "Bill?"
He didn't know.
He's like, "He's still buffing up by chewing on the end of your glasses."
Yeah, even Simon didn't know who that guy was. But he's the guy that gives the big reveal.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Do you know who the fuck this Simon guy is?" He's like, "Peter Krieg, who was born." What the fuck was his name? Simon Peter Gruber.
Yeah, Gruber's brother. Dun, dun, dun.
Then you get the flashback.
Because McClane's there making jokes, and he's like, "That is an exceptional report, fellas. Now you want to tell me what the fuck this has to do with me?" And nobody's saying anything. Then finally that guy in the back of the van speaks up and says, "Does the name Gruber mean anything to you?" Then McClane like freezes.
It rings a bell.
And we have that flashback of Hans going out the window at the end of the first one.
What's interesting about that scene from the original movie of him falling, they didn't tell him when they were gonna like let him go.
I think they lied to him about the count. They said it was going to be on 3, and then they dropped him on like 2
or whatever, something like that. Yeah, and he was like literally like, "Bah."
That's the best thing too about John McTiernan is he did this one, he did the first one. Which one didn't he do? The second one.
Rennie Harlan did the second one.
Although this one doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, but then at the same time, there's a lot of fucking Christmassy talk because the one kid mentions later in the film about it's like Christmas out here. You can steal City Hall, and then later on, also whenever McClane says something to Well, he's walking up towards the dump truck or whatever, and he's mentioning something about, yeah, they said it was a jolly old fat guy and 8 little reindeer. So like they mentioned Christmas quite a bit in this film, and then they even did the line before whenever McClane was driving the cab from Pulp Fiction, where he says smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo, which is the song that they used in Butch's little sequence whenever he was going back to the house whenever he runs over Marcellus Wallace.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun just whenever they take like little odes to their films like that. But yeah, fuck. I forget what we were talking about.
The train.
We talked about the train.
After it blew up, they were at the...
Oh, yeah, the fucking FBI guys.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
the FBI guys.
We're new with this.
Yeah, it's just a fucking crazy action-packed movie, so it's all over the place.
Yeah, it's true.
But then Simon was saying that he had 2,400 pounds of the liquid shit in a school, and what they had, they could look for it, and then, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't evacuate the schools.
They can search, but they can't evacuate.
Yeah.
And they would end up disarming the bomb after McClane does all this crazy nonsense.
Well, the clue he gave him too. He said, "What's half of 42?" That was after the elephant bomb, right?
That's that's after.
After.
Because this one they send down to Thompson Square Park, which is, I think, it's getting to the elephant bomb. Yeah. But then, and then it goes back to like in the beginning, they're saying there were 14 dump trucks stolen, and then McClane said it was going to be an insurance fraud scam, and like the trucks are probably already in California, but nope. You learn that who has them? Simon has them. So Simon has these fucking 14 dump trucks. And then, so all these cops have Wall Street all blocked off. And then the dump trucks come pulling around the corner. Because after the bomb thing, he tells them about the school. He sees all the cops fucking scaring because he's on top of the roof. And he's like hook, line, and sinker. Like the cops bought the shit. Now the scam's working. McClane's doing his thing. He's away from everybody. And now my trucks are coming here. So it's time to get phase 3 of the plan ready, which is to break into the National Federal Reserve Bank. So then as like all these dump trucks are coming around to go to the crash or the bombing site, then like Ricky is that cop. And then he starts trying to like wave the truckers down, and then fucking Simon comes walking over. He's like, "Hi, Bob Thompson, city engineer's office."
You guys got here quick.
He's like, "Well, it's Wall Street, lots of money here."
Yeah.
So he's fucking like having him like pretty much being escorted around by the cops whenever he just to show him where to go to steal what the fuck he's about to steal, because they think he's some kind of broker. And then that's whenever you get down and like get inside, then they start killing off all the cops that went down there, including poor little Ricky, who gets killed by Otto, and then Otto steals his badge.
That was Ludwig Borga. Is that who that was? The wrestler?
Yes.
Okay. Otto doesn't
Yes.
speak in, but no. Otto was no. That wasn't him.
That's the same guy.
No. Ludwig Borga was the other guy. Later, we'll get to it later.
After.
That's when they had the elephant bomb. I keep calling it the elephant bomb. It's a suitcase.
It's
They
the
had to
elephant
put
bomb.
the water jugs on. And Sam Jackson goes up to those 3 cops because McClane's like, "Give it to those guys."
Yeah, that's a little bit later.
Not the skinny guy that was talking to Sam Jackson, but the big guy that's
No, because
like,
once Irons and them get down into this vault, and then they start drilling into the wall to get to the gold bullion, and then that's whenever they just overtake the whole thing, and then you see fucking
you meet that badass chick.
Katya, Sam
Yeah.
Phillips, who's a musician and actually composed the Gilmore Girls sound.
What?
Theme
Get
song.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, I cannot.
Nice.
Yeah. So she's the composer that did the Gilmore Girls.
I did not know that.
I don't think many do. That's what's good about fucking Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Hell, not everything's real on Wikipedia, but yeah,
It
most
is.
of the time it is.
It is.
No,
But then she fucking slices up that one guard like a goddamn trout.
yeah.
The fucking irons grabs her arm. He's like, that's enough.
That part's funny too, because it reminded me of that scene in Big Trouble in Little China when he opens the door and all the henchmen are standing there and then he
Just
shuts
closes
it real
it.
fast, real fast. It was
They only saw me. No, but then after that part is whenever they cut, and then you see the phone, the pay phone, and then I forget. I should have wrote down the little fucking anecdotes or whatever he would say, but then he's like something like, "What has 4 legs and can walk forever?" And he's like, "It's an elephant joke, McLean. Don't you have any kids?" So then they see like the little elephant fountain, and then they pick up.
What
They
is
see the
4 legs
suitcase.
is always ready to travel.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what it
I
is.
think it's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know these things either. But then they see a suitcase sitting on the fountain, and then he's like, "Well, don't touch it." He's like, "But I got to."
Yeah, I gotta open it.
But then whenever he opens it, it says, "Thank you, you just armed me." And he's like, "God damn it, McLean!" Like, I fucking told you. So then they have to get a 3-gallon jug and a 5-gallon jug to get 4 gallons, and then that disarms the bomb when they set the water thing on there.
And it's got to be exact.
Exact.
And then they cut to at one
That's
point.
what I'm saying. There's a lot of shit going on right now.
Because they cut to Simon, who's like, the plan's going, like he's in control, this and that. Then we cut back to McLean and Zeus, who are arguing in the park. I thought you said you knew. You know, they're just arguing back and forth.
Great banter between those two.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Their chemistry's good.
They're so good together.
So good.
Like I'm a fan of Lawrence Fishburne too, and he did quite well for himself. I mean, he did Matrix a few years after this, and
Yeah.
Boys in the Hood a few years before, and Nightmare 3. Can't forget Nightmare 3.
Larry Fishburne.
I couldn't pick anybody else in the role besides Sam Jackson.
Many have forgotten Nightmare 3, except for us.
Sure.
Should
But
bring
yeah.
him back. He survived. So they lay the 4 gallons of water on the bomb, disarm it.
Yeah, they figure it out. Then they disarm it, and then they fucking walk away. He's like, "What are you gonna do with that?" And he's like, "I don't know. Leave it. They're just gonna leave this fucking bomb there."
You know, some kid could find that. He's like, "You're right."
And that's whenever he finds the kid robbing the store or whatever, and he like stops the kid on the bike. And that's whenever you hear the kids say, "It's Christmas out. You can steal City Hall," and then it clicks.
That kid looked really familiar.
He did, didn't he?
Like I feel like I've seen him like a sitcom or something when he was a little bit older, but I couldn't.
I thought the same thing. He almost reminded me of the fucking
We'll also watch this. So.
the Rookie of the Year kid, the baseball. You probably wouldn't have seen that movie. It's a baseball movie. The fucking American Pie kid. Not Jason Biggs, but one of the other ones. Anyway, not important.
Internet, help us.
Not important. I don't know who the fuck the kid was.
But more importantly, yeah, that's the realization that it's Christmas. You could steal City Hall, and then it hits them like all the cops are gone. All the cops are occupied looking for the bomb that's in the school.
Yeah.
So then they take off back to the Federal Reserve Bank, and I forget what McLean says because he kind of starts talking in a riddle too. Because Sam Jackson's like,
no, he's like, what does Wall Street not have a lot or have
schools.
a lot of?
That's what it was. Schools.
Yeah. He's like, what does Wall Street not have? Schools. What does it have a lot of? Money.
Then he looks up at the Federal Reserve and he's like, wait here. And that's when he goes in.
Is that when he tells Sam Jackson to go and find a cop?
Yeah, that's the part. Yeah,
give
that's
the cop
the
the
part.
bomb.
And
Yeah.
the cop's actually not really a cop.
Right.
We don't know.
Like, I want to know how. Like, I mean, this fucking plan is ingenious. Like, if you could pull this off for real, like, it's some goofy shit.
Right.
That's a lot of planning and a lot of overtaking. Like they had to get cop uniforms.
Well-
Fucking all those freaking guys that are like these soldiers or whatever are all like 6'5".
Well, he notices that when they're getting in the elevator at the bank, like all these other guys in the security uniforms are walking in the elevator, and Bruce Willis is like, Jesus Christ.
I think the one thing that tipped him off whenever he heard the one guy say it's raining like dogs and cats,
Yeah.
because usually it's cats and dogs in America.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things backwards from the Europe folks. Everybody else will fucking say that I'm backwards from that, but I'm like, no, because everybody else in the world uses kilometers and everything. We're the only ones that don't. So
He sees the numbers of the cop's badge, and he's like, anybody know the numbers?
yeah, because he had Ricky's badge on.
Yeah.
The one that
He's
shot
like,
Ricky.
That,
So
that's
then-
that whole scene. That's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I mean, dude.
Especially at the end.
McClane's one of my favorites, man. Like, you know,
Yeah, like Die Hard might be one of my favorite action movies.
it is mine.
Like, I mean,
This
it's
is the
top
first
though,
one.
but it probably is. It's up there.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many good ones from our time.
It's always hard to top an original when you do a sequel, but man, this one comes pretty damn close. I think.
Yeah. And then they were saying that, like, once, because he goes down there, right? And then he shoots those guys. And then Sam Jackson ends up coming over to him. And then, what the fuck? That's whenever they end up realizing that they like just are there and stole the gold or whatever. But then, because he grabs that gold bar and he's like, what the fuck was in those dump trucks? And he's like, this. And he's like, holy shit, is that gold? And he fucking takes it with him and knocks the back window out of that fucking Yugo. And then they fucking take that car and they're looking for all the fucking big dump trucks that were pulling out of the Federal Reserve building. And then they find them, and they're on the FDR. So then, like, a lot of chit chats going back and forth between him and Cobb about it being a heist, about money. He's like, it's just the same shit that happened with Hans Gruber, his brother. Like, it was all there for about being a heist whenever he was robbing Nakatomi. So they're one and the same person. Like, it does not fail. Everything's all about the money. But then they needed a faster car, so they end up fucking pulling over this fucking BMW guy. And then they get out because he shot his phone, or what? And McClane did whenever he was shooting the guards in the elevator. And then they pull over the guy in the BMW and get his car because he had a fucking car phone. And then they stop, and Sam Jackson's like, "Who's the 21st president?" He's like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, because I forget. They figure out at some point that the 21 out of 42, the clue that he gave him earlier, it's whoever the 21st president was, is the clue as to where the bomb in the school is.
So then they go, because
that's when Jerry, the truck driver, tells him that it's
Chester A. Arthur.
Chester A. Arthur, which just so happens to be Chester A. Arthur Middle School, which just happens to be the school that Zeus's kids attend.
Yeah.
Because they go down to
his nephews.
They end up pulling over Jerry, and then they think he's one of the German guys. And then he takes them down to where the water aqueduct is. Like, where, like, they're actually working on it or whatever. And then McClane goes and talks to the foreman guy, and he's like, "You see anybody else come down here?" He's like, "Yeah, those fucking dozen idiots that went just tearing ass up my pipe." That didn't sound right at all.
We're so mature. Anyway.
We are. We're in our 40s. This is what happens. We devolve.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so like McClane has Sam Jackson heading to the Yankee Stadium because that's where they were supposed to be going. And then McClane goes with Jerry down the tunnel to try to find the German guys. And then it's just funny because he's just dropping all kinds of fucking knowledge on this guy. Like, Jerry knows his shit. Like, I love Jerry. He's a fucking good dude. But then that's whenever the other Christmas reference comes in, because whenever they're going down the pipe, and then he pulls up and then he starts talking to the guy about the Santa Claus and the 8 reindeer, which is actually 2 of the army guys in the dump truck. Then he just fucking just blasts on them. And I was like, how does he even know it's them? Like, he doesn't give them a chance to see them or nothing. So he has no idea. Like, he could have just shot 2 regular dudes that were broke down on their lunch break, just fucking kicking it. And he just
McClane knows
shit out of them. No, so then I always think the funniest part, so they're going down through there, and then McClane like has to stop because whenever they're going over like the bridges or whatever through the tunnel, the one falls down. So he has to stop and try to pry it up, which you're not gonna fucking pry it by yourself. Those plates fucking weigh hundreds of pounds. But then
It's fine.
you see, so like whenever they get out, like the one dude, Targo, that works for Simon or Gruber, he keeps telling him, like, just quit playing with this fucking guy and just kill him before he ends up fucking us. So he's like, all right, cool. So then he goes to do it, and he's like, well, take this bomb, because they have the bomb from the elephant bomb. We'll just call it the elephant bomb. So they just put it in the dam in the tunnel.
We drown him.
To drown McClane. And then just the fact that he can see this water coming.
that scene.
It's like the worst CG ever. But my thing is, like, whenever he starts driving backwards and then he just whips the fucking truck around like he's driving a car, and I'm like, you're not going to do that with a dump truck, for one, especially if it's fucking full of gold in the back.
Yeah.
That whole fucking truck would have just tipped over and it had been done. But then he fucking ends up flagging down fucking Zeus because he goes to the ball field. Nothing's there, so he takes off. And then McClane he's driving along to go meet McClane. And then across the highway or whatever, he sees McClane go shooting up to this fucking geyser.
You got a hell of a way of flagging somebody down.
I remember when me and Mom saw that in theaters, and when that scene happened, everybody cracked up laughing immediately.
Dude, that'd be fucking fun.
Same
Yeah.
in my theater. I think that got one of the biggest laughs of the whole movie.
Because it's so goofy. It's just a goofy
ride ever.
Right. I mean, it would be fun until the water was gone. Then that crash might hurt.
Oh yeah, the landing would suck.
Yeah. And don't forget the Yankee Stadium thing, because just Zeus goes to Yankee Stadium and there's a sniper there.
Yeah.
And that's waiting for the go ahead, like yes or no, and they end up letting them go. It's just like one of those little old school games, and on the back of it says game over. There wasn't much at Yankee Stadium.
No.
And now, side note is, like, while all that shit's going on, all the other cops found the Chester A. Arthur High School, and then they go in there and they talk to the janitor, and then find out a refrigeration unit was delivered in the morning that's not hooked up, but for some reason is reading 43 degrees. So then they realize that's the fucking bomb. So all this shit's going on while all that shit's going on. So it's just a fucking goddamn mess. Like, there's so much shit going on at one time. This is why this movie does not seem like it's over 2 hours. Because something's constantly going on. Like, if there's not shit going on with McClane, there's shit going on with the other cops.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Yeah,
Right.
It's nonstop. Like right after that first explosion at the very beginning of the movie, it just keeps going.
And it almost sometimes feel like too much, but then at the same time it's not. Like, it's just perfect tone, perfect setting. Fucking the pace is great.
The female detective that like gets pissed at Charlie for blowing up the chair and all that stuff, and she's helping the kids out of the school. She was also Yvette on Clue. She was
oh shit!
She was the wife of the rich dude on Wayne's World, which I guess that was Bill Murray's brother. That was the rich dude, the old rich guy. And then she's been in all kinds of shit. That's just kind of what pops in my head. I always know her as Yvette, but yeah.
Yvette, how you doing?
Yeah, right. But
God damn it. Where were we at?
We're at the school where they found they get to the ball and they find it, and Charlie ends up going in there to take a look at it.
He does.
And they also realize that all the kids are out of the school except for, go figure, Sam Jackson's nephews.
Right. And like 3 other kids.
Yeah, like go figure that they would be the ones.
They go hide off because they think fucking Tony snitched on them for trying to sell their stereo or whatever.
And they just think it's a fucking, fire
Just some
alarm
kind of
test. Yeah.
They're doing like some kind of like evacuation assembly bullshit or whatever.
Did anybody learn anything from Kindergarten Cop? What you doing? Get out of here.
Grab the ferret. Grab the ferret. The ferret must go.
So they don't make it out in time, and because they're trying to jump from rooftop to rooftop, and it's just too far.
Too far.
And then because it's in this refrigeration unit, it's these giant containers of the liquid, and one of them gets punctured, gets all over Charlie's face. What did he say?
He cuts the wire. Yeah, it's pancake.
Pancake syrup.
Yeah. And at first, and I love how they did that too, because it make you think, oh well, Charlie's a nice guy, he's gonna die, and you think he's like, and it just starts spraying him in the face, and he's like, it's maple syrup, it's maple syrup. He starts like, and you're just like, wow, okay. It's like, dude, Simon's just full of fucking shit, isn't he?
Yeah. We skipped a little bit because there's cuts, these great cuts in between
back and forth all over the place.
Because as that happens, it's cutting back to the boat. I mean, I don't know if you want to go back to the boat before we talk about this or not, but we see that another giant container of the liquid rise up, and McClane sees it, and he's just like, he almost has a breakdown whenever he sees that. But
that's what I mean, like because with the school shit, then like during that school shit's the shit with McClane and fucking Sam Jackson, because after he gets shot out the fucking tube, he jumps in the car, they're getting shot at, so then the dudes in the truck are shooting at them, and they're fucking having their little back and forth. Then you keep getting jump scenes back to the school, and then they end up wrecking the bad guy's truck, and then they get out, kill them. Everybody has 10 quarters on them for the toll or whatever, for the bridge, and then they steal his truck. And then as they're driving their truck over the bridge, they see the ship down there that had all the containers on it. So then they have the bright fucking idea of, let's take this fucking hitch from the truck and tie it onto this boat, and then we'll slide down this fucking cord, because the fucking, I don't know what they were thinking, but that was a good idea. Apparently Sam Jackson wanted to jump.
He wanted to jump.
Yeah, he's like, are you in a hurry?
It's like,
he's like, come on, McClane, I can make it.
Then they say because McClane tells them that the cord will cut him in half, which comes into play just a few minutes later.
Yeah, so then as they're going down, they're sliding down the cord to the boat, and then they stop for a minute because they see one of the guard guys down there, and then next thing you know, you see the fucking truck start moving. So then he's like, go man, go, we gotta fucking go. And then the truck falls, they fall, the cord goes and swipes this guy and cuts him in half as he's about to shoot at him. And then they finally land real hard, and then fucking Sam Jackson's like, I'm glad you talked me out of jumping. And then that's whenever they kind of go, their separate ways. Sam Jackson's trying to figure out where Peter is.
Well, McClane gives him that weapon too.
Yeah, he gives him a fucking
Zeus.
What is that, like an MP5 or something?
Pal. It's the same weapon they had in the first diary.
Yeah.
Nice little callback.
There is. But then so then they end up capturing Sam Jackson, and then McClane goes down this other path, and he's like walking through all these containers and shit, where you find Stargo, and he has a big ass fight scene with him. And apparently that scene was cut rather short because it was too violent.
Damn it.
That's what I said.
Censors.
Because whenever because like they end up like fighting each other, and then McClane has like a big ass chain that he finds on the ground and like fucking pulls it and trips him with it. And then
little callback to the fight with Carl.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Indeed. Well, that's the funny thing too, was because in the same scene, I believe, one of the guys that dies, his name was Carl, because Gruber says Carl should have it.
Well, forget, because it's the first time Zeus has ever fired a gun, and he finds him in the what do you call it, when they're in the ship. Well, he finds Simon and all the villains gathered
in the control room.
In the control room, and he's pointing the gun at him. Zeus is pointing the gun at him. Says, tell me the code or I'm going to blow your sick ass away. And Simon's like, do what you got to do. And he's eating an egg or something.
Yeah.
And the gun just goes click, click, click. It's like, forgot to take the safety caps off.
Yeah, and he's like, here, let me. Like he's like, oh, let me see. Like just
He takes a bite of his egg first.
Yeah.
He's like, here, let me show you this. He fucking shoots him in the leg. And then
Zeus had a rough day too.
he really did. Like, and he's just a fucking regular Joe, just chilling, trying to earn a living, like hanging out, trying to survive.
McClane to fuck his day up.
Yeah, he fucked up his whole day.
Plus, those guys at the beginning probably trashed the store.
Oh, this is true. They didn't even get back to the store yet.
He makes that comment, I think, too.
Yeah. He's like, you know what the fuck them guys are doing back to my store? Like, yeah, it's fucked. It's fucked. No, but that whole scene's pretty fucking rough. And then McClane tries to phone the Coast Guard or whatever, and she's like, hang on. And that's whenever he looks over.
Put him on hold.
And he realizes again that there is no fucking... Because at the same time, whenever the syrup hits Charlie in the face, that's whenever they cut to him sitting on the floor with the fucking radio in his hand, looking over and seeing the other two big-ass vials of the liquid shit. And then that's whenever he realizes, well, that's the real bomb, and the fucking other shit was just a goddamn diversion to keep us busy all fucking day.
Yeah.
And he even says that. He's like, there was no bomb in the school. He's like, I'm a fucking soldier. I'm not a monster.
Yeah.
Although I sometimes work for monsters.
Right. He's like, your brother was an asshole.
He was. You got his number.
He was an asshole. Yeah.
That's just fucking great.
I always love the fact they did that too, because I remember watching it and just kind of just being like, oh shit, this is awesome. Now we have like a whole revenge thing too.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of where the alternate ending went. We'll talk about that.
I don't know the alternate ending you're talking about.
Doozy.
I just saw it for the first time.
It's a doozy.
So
then you get them two sitting on this fucking big ass bomb inside the ship, realizing, like we're not going to feel shit when this goes up. But then, whenever they were going down that cable from the truck to the ship, McClane ended up getting like this big wire like stuck in his fucking arm. And then so he ends up pulling that out and drops it in fucking Zeus's hands, where he undoes his little. He undoes the locks for the handcuffs, and then he ends up dropping it. So then McClane jumps down to try to find the little pin or whatever, and then ends up just fucking taking a crowbar and smashing holes into both the barrels of the shit, and then gets them together, and then fucking frees Sam Jackson, and then they end up running and then jumping off of this ship right before it blows up, which an explosion of that size, they wouldn't have got far enough away to
no. And you forgot that before Simon walks away, McClane, he's like, do you have an aspirin or anything? I've got a pounding headache or some shit or whatever. He's like,
that's like an ongoing joke through the whole movie. Like, that's
and he ends up having it and just throwing it to him. He's like,
keep the bottle. Yeah, good call, because we can't forget that part, because that's important later.
Yeah.
You can't forget the aspirin at all, period, because he asked them in the beginning if they have any Tylenol. He takes some.
It is a funny run.
And then whenever they're doing the first riddle, he's like, well, didn't you hear what he was saying? He's like, yeah, but I got a bad fucking hangover for one thing.
I like when the chief's talking to Simon at the beginning. He was like, what do you want that asshole anyway? He's like, he's on suspension. He's 3 steps away from being a full-blown like alcoholic. He goes, one step. I always love Bruce Willis's fucking just his demeanor, just how he is, how he can just be a smart ass about everything. Like he's just, I don't know. He doesn't care. He's just like, he's a badass. He's honestly a pathetic character, but at the same point, like he's also like a badass. I don't know. It's weird. He's an anti-hero in a lot of ways.
In my eyes, he's like a badass that just has bad luck that don't really give a fuck because he's just used to having a shitty day.
It didn't make fists with his toes.
No. I mean, it works. Ask Dave. He did that shit.
It doesn't work.
Oh, it works.
It doesn't work.
But then anyway, like the boat blows up and then they get on shore and then they're having like a little conversation. Like, I can't believe he got away with all that shit. And he's like, there ain't no fucking gold on that boat. It's just full of fucking metal. And then that's whenever fucking Sam Jackson's like, hey, Lambert, give him a quarter so he can call his wife. So then he fucking calls, and he hasn't talked to her in like a year, which is funny too, because like while they're sitting on the bomb, they're having a conversation. He's like, I can't believe anybody would stay married with you this long. He's like, well, we're not. We're separated. He's like, oh, I bet you blame that shit on her too. He's like, my wife is a very stubborn woman.
He's just laughing at him.
He's like, yeah. He's like, she lives in L.A. I was in New York. We had a fight. I never called her back. He's like, how long ago was that? He's like, about a year now.
He also asks for a cigarette, or he finds the cigarette pack in the jacket that he's wearing, and it's like all like he's like trying to get a cigarette out. It's all watered out.
He just throws it on the ground, and he takes those Tylenol that the fucking Simon gave him, and then he sees the what's a fucking
helicopter
Nord-Des Langes, like the north of the border building or whatever, on the bottom of the Tylenol thing. And that's whenever he realizes he knows where he's at. So then it cuts from there to everybody celebrating in this fucking hangar or whatever. And then they're talking about fallen comrades, and then which country they're going to want to buy. Because he's like, before we were just an army with no country, and tomorrow we find out which country we want to buy. And then that's whenever, I forgot to mention, before Krieg and Targo and all them leave, Targo realizes that they've been double crossed and that the fucking gold's not on this boat or whatever. So he's on like the little fucking dinghy boat that they're going to escape on, and he's like, we've been double crossed or whatever. And then Katya just takes her gun out and shoots Targo in the face like 4 times.
Yeah.
And apparently those two are the ones that were together. But then she just decided, fuck this guy. I'm going to go fuck with Simon. But then, so you go back to there. Then finally they have their little thing, and shit's about to get passionate and rough. And then you hear the helicopter, and then they're all like, turn the lights off, turn the lights off. And then you hear fucking McLean, and he's like, that come at a bad time. And then she starts shooting at him. Right. And fucking Sam Jackson's like, I think you pissed her off, McLean.
And it's another callback to the first one, because McLean even says, the only thing worse than people thinking you stole billions of dollars in gold is making people think you did. Right. Because that's the same thing Hans tried to do when he blew up the Nakatomi building.
I know the man. I know the family. So he knew. He knew. Didn't fall far from the tree.
There's nice callbacks, but it's not enough. There's not too many.
It's not overwhelming.
Yeah, they're not copy and paste and shit.
Right, like this.
Romulus, alien.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were on the same page.
Very, very subtle too, because they mentioned Christmas a couple of times. This is the first non-Christmas Die Hard, and then. So they're all they interrupt their celebration, and then they get into Katya and then Gruber get into a helicopter, and they're trying to shoot down the other helicopter, and then they land, and then McLean's running around with this fucking revolver trying to shoot a helicopter.
Another callback.
And
two bullets left. Yeah,
he's finally on the ground running around. He's like, all right. He's like, just let me see your face, because he's getting blinded by the spotlight of the helicopter. And he opens the revolver up, sees he has 2 shells left, which is they call back to the original. And then eventually you see the perfect shot of Gruber's face, and then he fires the weapon, but then he shoots the weapon into power lines, and it comes down. And he's like, you got to get us out of here. Then she ends up fucking hitting a telephone pole with the rotors, and they blow up.
Don't forget. What does Bruce Willis say after he shoots down the helicopter?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yep. Of course.
Shit's so good, man. This movie's so fucking... It's so quick. Like I said, even trying to take notes on this to kind of keep us on track was a pain. Just because I didn't want to put too much shit in there, because I know if I did, it'd be like a fucking 4-hour episode.
Right.
I feel like we kind of skipped over some shit and then kind of went through it pretty quick. But
it's a fast paced.
It's so much shit going on.
It's a thrill ride, and it ends as the end credits are coming up on the screen. It ends with McClane going back to the payphone.
Yeah, got to call his wife again.
Oh, do you want to
now
the alternate ending?
The alternate ending takes place about 6 months after the ship blows up because they didn't find Gruber. He gets away. And then he tracks him down, and I don't know, like it's either like Germany or Budapest or somewhere in there. And then McClane comes up to him, and
somehow McClane tracked him down.
Yeah, he tracks him, who knows. And then he's like, well, how's your friends at the end of my PD doing? He's like, I wouldn't know, I got fired. So basically, like, he has this conversation with him where McClane loses his job and everything. And because the FBI feels he's a suspect for the whole thing, which, yeah, that don't make sense to me either because they had the conversation with him in the van or whatever. So they know what happened in Nakatomi, and they wouldn't think he would partner up with somebody's brother that he killed. Like, that wouldn't make any sense to me.
No.
But then, so then pretty much McClane's doing a Simon Says with him, but it's McClane Says. And he pulls out this old fucking Chinese rocket launcher that doesn't have the firing instructions on it or the sights, so you don't know which way is the correct end. So as he's asking them these little riddles to figure out, he's sitting there and he goes through, and if he doesn't get the answer right, then he has to fire the rocket launcher. So the whole time, like, Simon's kind of like spinning it after every question he gets wrong or right. And then he gets through about like 3 or 4 questions. And then he gets the last one, and then it's wrong. So then he ends up spinning the rocket launcher again, hits the button. The rocket launcher is pointed towards him, and it ends up shooting him through the chest and blows up behind him. So then he kills himself pretty much.
Simon does.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty stupid ending.
It was long. I think it was like 12 minutes long too. It was.
It's different. Like, I don't know. Like, I think the original ending, I like it. That one's not bad, but then it almost makes it feel more like a revenge film.
Yeah. Can you find that on YouTube?
Yeah. And then like he's even like saying, he's like, well, how's your buddy? He's like, you mean Zeus? He's like, he's good. Like, his kids are on the honor roll. And he's like, and yours? And he's like, I'm about to go see them now for Christmas because it's Christmas time.
Is it Simon?
All back into the Christmas category.
Well,
Weird.
Because in the movie, when he's in the bank, they called it an Indian summer.
Yeah,
So-
it's like it's during summertime in this one.
It would only been a couple months. I don't know.
They're just trying. They're just doing
Well,
callbacks.
there's different
Probably.
ones too. Like I've heard the people say it was years later, and then I've heard months.
Years later would make more sense.
I'm sure they also were going to do something originally to continue on with some shit with this one. Because
Yeah, I don't know.
no. What did you all think about the next movie, the next Die Hard movie?
The Live Free Die Hard one with Justin Long.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it felt like a Die Hard movie.
A PG-13 Die Hard movie.
yeah. You can't say fuck in it. You kidding me?
Like his catchphrase is "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
Yeah.
No,
But like, part of me, I don't hate.
to me,
it
was just a detective movie with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, you could have called it something else and been fine. But like, there's a part of me that just wishes they would have stopped at this one. They would have ended on a high.
Yeah, because the one after that one's even worse.
Oh, dude, yeah. That one doesn't feel. A lot of people said that.
A good day to Die Hard.
Yeah, that was terrible.
A lot of people said that when Bruce Willis went ahead and just showed, his shaved head instead of having the hair, because he was shaving his head in this one too. That's not his real hair in the movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But I guess they just decided, he was getting older and all that shit, that just keep his head shaved. And I don't know, it takes away, and then it just becomes every other Bruce Willis movie. Like it's kind of weird, but like yeah. The other ones just don't come off like, this one and that god awful second one and first one. Which honestly, the second one has moments, but it's not.
I don't hate the second one.
I don't hate the second one, but like it's not one. It's either 1 or 3. I don't ever go, you know what? Today I'm going to watch Die Hard 2. Like it's very rare that I do that.
I don't know what it is about the second one. Like it had a good William Sadler as the villain. That's fuck yeah.
John Amos.
There's not as much action in
it. Yeah.
It's a lot of just running.
They're confined to the airport, maybe. I don't know.
I don't mind that though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like with this one though, like he's all over the fucking place. Like in the original two, it's like he's just in one spot. This one he's everywhere.
Yeah. Like I said, there's moments in the second one, but man, this one and the first one are just great. And like I would almost say I like this one better than the original, but the original is such a favorite of mine. It's such a classic. It's like they're kind of head to head, you know what I mean? But this one is just so great because it does have that Lethal Weapon kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? It's the buddy action comedy thing, and I wish we could have gotten more movies where they were like this, together. They were in a lot of movies together, but this one was them, actually being a team and all that. And then I would have liked to have seen that at least once or twice more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the next two just are regular. Like they could have been like part of the Red franchise or something instead of
right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much action in the third one, but like in the fourth one, there's that scene where he shoots down the helicopter. Like it got a little.
He shoots down a helicopter with a car.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
yeah,
that's and it's like now we got all this CG, and now everything's like way over the top. And it's like Chuck said, there's just something missing. Everyone that came after part 3, there's just something missing.
He isn't like John McClane, like at all. Even his like the way he acts and everything. In I don't remember if it was the fourth one, but the one after it, his demeanor isn't John McClane anymore. Like he just doesn't come off as John McClane. He comes off as like just any other movie. If that makes sense.
Cop.
Huh?
Just a regular cop.
Yeah. There's something special about this one and the first one. This one it's definitely one of those that like if it's on, leave it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I'm watching it.
Just like my cousin Vinny, same fucking thing. Like if it's on, I'm gonna watch it.
Remote dropper.
Remote dropper, right? Yeah, you all said that last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with anybody that said they like the third one better than the first one. It's like Alien and Aliens. It's like whatever, I wouldn't argue with anybody that said they like this one better than the first one.
Well, I mean, with Alien, Alien 3 is my favorite, and everybody gives me shit about that, but I don't care.
I don't hate the third one.
We all have our preference.
The third one. I love the third one.
I just like the first 3, period.
True. Those are
like,
ones I really good for.
It's one of those franchises where I watch one, I got to watch the first 3, like this one.
But you know what, real quick on the Alien thing, I know it's totally off, whatever, but talking about sequels and stuff, the thing that I think that people failed to want to like about the third Alien movie is because they had Alien, which was like a slow stalking kind of horror sci-fi movie. Then you had Aliens, which was full on action, and then you had Alien 3, which was it was basically like an extreme version of the first one. And people were like, "Oh, well, now it's not as action packed," but I think it's just as brutal. I think it's more brutal than the original.
I like the third one. I like the tunnel scenes whenever they're running around.
Yeah. But yeah, the Die Hard franchise, I feel the same way. I wish this would have been the last one. It would have made sense. Again, the one after it isn't horrible, but it starts to lose what we love about it, But like he's still John McClane being a smart ass, he's still doing the John McClane stuff in there. But like after that, it's just like the introduction of the kids is where that shit always ruins anything. Oh yeah, I love kids and all, but I mean, like on like TV shows too. Like whenever they end up having a new kid, like that's whenever the show starts going downhill. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's just, I don't know. Whenever they introduce that child or baby figure, like it's just, I don't know. And like up to this point, like his kids are real, but they're never in the picture. And then they bring in his daughter in the fourth one, then his son in the fifth one. Like
I'll tell you what it reminds me of is Taken. That's what those remind me of, was just Taken.
Shitty dad movies.
It's a new genre.
Yeah. But like Taken, and then there's Taken 2. It's like, why do you need to have Taken 2? It's just so stupid. But like, it's kind of like these. It's like, okay, well, like now, okay, he's got to protect his daughter, and then he's got to go help his son, and like, it's just shut the fuck up and stop it. Like, there could have been a much better thing they could have done if they were going to keep doing it, and they failed. They failed on that one. But
Well, I think they said Under Siege was one of the scripts that could have possibly been another Die Hard
There
film.
was so many rejected Die Hard scripts that became other movies. Tears of the Sun was another one.
see, that's what I think that he kind of turns into in the last couple of Die Hard movies. It becomes in Tears of the Sun. Like, he just doesn't. He comes off more military than he does like his John McClane cop self.
Right. Just kind of winging it, figuring it out. But then again, he is a cop that's went through 3 different terrorists. So he does know a thing or two now.
He's like the guy you want to call but don't at the same time.
We had to call McClane. Oh, you know what that means? Yeah, he's going to ruin a lot of the city. A lot of things are going to explode.
It's
He's
going to
gonna kill
cost a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't. But we had this whole terrorist thing. Call his ass.
We're
Let's
probably
ruffle his feathers first, though.
We're probably going to have to raise taxes because,
Poor
but
McClane.
man, Bruce Willis, God bless him.
John McClane is kind of the equivalent. He's like the he's like the more extreme Dirty Harry in a way. It's like, you shouldn't. Like in the first one, he's like, you won't hurt me. You're a police officer. Police officers have rules. He goes, yeah, that's what my captain keeps telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's the same kind of like thing. It's like, oh, boom, 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 you're killing a bunch of people. No big fucking deal.
Yeah,
Like,
well, this one he didn't kill anybody till like an hour in.
True.
Like I said, if he wouldn't have known if he would have known that those 2 truck driver guys were the terrorists, and he just walks up and shoots, like they could have been fucking regular civilians just trying to fucking earn their bread for their life.
Well, they made up for it a little bit in that elevator scene when that guy's brains splatter all over this.
Some Scorsese shooting in that scene.
Yeah,
A lot of splatter. I love it.
yeah, it's such a good movie. This is probably the highest kill count for sure. Until you get to, I don't remember the other ones too much. I know I've seen the fourth one maybe like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
I've only ever watched the last one like once. And
I
was
don't
like,
remember
okay,
the
that
last
was enough.
Yeah, so because that was the one with the son, right?
Yeah, and his son was like some kind of secret agent or some shit. I don't fucking know.
Which, I mean, like in the original, like, did he have 2 kids?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in the original, I know he had like his daughter.
Yeah, you see both of them in the photo. You only ever hear Lucy talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lucy. That's
Lucy McClane. But yeah, like these movies. See, when it comes to with a Vengeance, especially, it kind of has everything that I want out of an action movie. Like it's got the whole buddy thing. It's comedy. There's a lot of fucking action in it. There's some great kill scenes, good fight scenes, a lot of chase scenes. Just there's everything. I mean, this is kind of like an action person's kind of dream movie if you actually think about it. I'll this will always be in the on the list of favorites of all time.
Yeah, it just goes back, like I said before, too, like with like the pacing and shit. 128 minutes still makes it feel like it's barely over an hour long. Until you look at the clock, then you're like, fuck.
yeah. It's like
And honestly, it's one of those, and it rarely happens with me, but it's one of those that, like, when it's done, you're kind of like, I wish it was just a little bit longer. Like, because you have so much fun watching this movie. It's one of those. It sucks when it's call time.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
Damn good movie.
Any last words other than what we just talked about?
Another classic to come out of the 90s. We ate good in the 90s.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
30 years old. It's fucking crazy.
And if anybody that's watching has not seen this movie or the other two before it, highly recommend. And just go down the line. The second one, not my favorite, but it's not horrible either. But it also makes this one that much better.
Penelope.
Who's this fucking guy?
It's Michael McLean.
It's a
You see me?
No, black screen.
What's going on here?
It's the McLean brothers.
There we go.
Hey,
What up, y'all?
What up, brother?
that looks like a poker room.
What's up? Yep, we're live. World Series of Poker, baby.
Hell yeah! How you doing?
Doing pretty good so far. We're getting ready to go on dinner break here in about 5 minutes. Sitting above average, so looking good. Hopefully, I can keep that up after the break and getting the money.
Hell yeah! Make that money.
But I want to stop in. I want to stop in and say what's up to the Brotherhood.
Give us a little rundown. What do you think of the film, Mike?
Dude, it's a great fucking flick. Like I said in the chat, the third one gives the first one a run for its money. I enjoy both. You know, I think, especially with the third, the chemistry between Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson is so good. Everybody nails their parts in this film as well. All the characters, everything feels authentic. The script is so good because, you know, it doesn't seem there might be like one thing. Like I think you were talking about the Sam Jackson's kids being Zeus's kids being in the ones that are held back, that are at risk. I think that would be the only real far-fetched thing. Everything else seems very plausible in the film, you know, and all the practical effects. Dave was talking about that. No CGI bullshit, you know, a lot of practical stuff. A couple of the big things that stand out for me is the music. You know, not only you mentioned Hot Time Summer in the City starting it off, and like you said, as soon you're in that vibe, like hell yeah, the city, and then boom, it just puts you right into it, and it's just a thrill ride from there on out. So that part, and then later on, whenever they're going down into the subway, the villains, and you got the When Johnny Comes Marching Home song going on the whole time. That whole sequence is brilliant. I love that, especially whenever you get to the part where Katya is coming in from the back way and Simon's coming in from the front way, and you got that guy at the desk, the one guard, and he's like calling, he's like, I need help or whatever, and he's like, hey, just relax, man, you might live through this or whatever, and he totally freaks out and just starts firing the shotgun, boom, 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 and then she comes up right behind him with that slash knife, and then like ninja style just cuts him up. So good, such a good sequence, and I love it in a film whenever they are able to take music and put it to a scene and it fits perfectly, because it makes it that much better. So those things stand out for me. Like I said, the characters, everything, the story, everything makes sense, and that's what I love about it. So yeah, definitely one of the better ones. Anything, the second one, meh. Like you said, it was one of those ones like I don't care about the second one.
Take it or leave it.
And the fourth one, I don't give a crap about it. The first one or the third one, I think you could make an argument for either one.
I know they were saying this feels more like a direct sequel to the first one than it does with having the second one just go away.
Yeah, I can see that.
Tierney kind of wanted to like make this from like his sequel to the first
one. Yeah, and that alternate ending is garbage. You know, they did everything right by this film, in my opinion.
Yeah,
100%.
They spent a shitload more money redoing the original and then redoing the new ending. But I do feel it was well worth it.
For sure.
Well, what did it take?
All the gold in your Fort Knox.
366.
It did well.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question though. Yeah, did you guys catch the lotto numbers tonight?
Yeah, it was 4667.
Oh, okay. Because my wife, she always plays the same numbers. That's my lucky numbers. I got them right here.
Pop, pop. And that's the froze screen. We got to make that big. This is fun. Oh,
Whoa.
wrong day.
Hey-o. But
Oh.
that's too much of me.
See
This is where I need to be.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know what's going on.
There he is.
There he is.
Did it.
Looking like he's getting ready to bust a fart right in front of everybody. He's like, "Bah."
Get off the screen, Michael. Anyway, that's going to wrap us up. We're going to go see what the clip generator has brought us this week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm always scared anymore because we keep getting like hand slaps by the damn copyright peoples.
Not always.
We do?
It happens. It seems like it.
Not always.
No.
Fuckers. Fuckers.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
Oh, God.
Michelle.
Well, at least that
I
was
swear I want to refilm that with you doing that. Me and you in a moped. You can jump on it. That'd be fucking
do it.
great.
I'd do
That
it.
actually works out with the movie that I decided that I'm going to do next week.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Bro. No, but I kept it like whenever we were doing our little short films that we were doing, kind of like ripping shit off or whatever. I told Dave I want to refilm that scene with me and him, where I'll be driving a little moped and he can just jump on the back of it, speed off. I think that'd be fucking great. That could be the end, like the exit to our show.
Let's go. I'll do it.
All right, let's check out some ads that we run here every week.
Hey everybody, Laser Trading Company is on YouTube. See some of the videos from Mike's travels and experiences. If you haven't already, please head over and subscribe. 7,800 and growing. Thank you all. Laser Trading Company is also available on eBay with various merchandise and collectibles. Hundreds of great gift ideas. That's Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. Laser Trading Company. You know him from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, Nasty Nation, Graveyard Talk, and the Video Store Clerks Podcast. He is the creator of Stoner Gore, Jack Nasty! And if you're looking for the latest in extreme horror, head over to Amazon.com, look up Chuck Nasty, and the following titles are available. Along with the latest album, Decay of Man, from Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube now.
And from Chuck's collection, newest additions, Twisted Eyeball Juice, over on Amazon as well, and the Rocking Chair. Get them both over on Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Are those available on Kindle as well?
Yeah. Yeah, on that front, got a couple of cool things, a couple of cool collaborations going on right now that hopefully will be done within the next couple of months and have those out. I'm going on a writer's retreat here in about like 20 days to go work on another collaboration. And when it comes down to Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat, we played a killer show the other night in Moorhead, Kentucky, over at the Stargazer.
Oh, yeah.
Killer place. This place was like an old, like 1800s fucking theater or some shit like that. They've completely revamped into this awesome place. It was probably one of the nicest stages we've ever played. It's super cool fucking place. But we're also getting ready to record our follow-up to Decay of Man in 2 weeks. So yeah, we got some good stuff coming. Yeah.
Gotta do that new Video Store Clerks podcast intro.
We'll get to that. God damn it.
And you get the lucky pick of the week for next week. So
Yeah.
What movie have you chosen for number 160?
So as you all know, I had another movie in mind, but we'll do that later on. But the movie that I've chosen, and I hope that we can find it, because I don't have a copy of it anymore. So if we can find it, that scene with Vince Vaughn there was kind of funny because I already decided this about like 20 minutes ago. Clay pigeons with Joaquin Phoenix and Vince Vaughn and Janine Garofalo. Have you ever seen Clay pigeons?
Nope. No.
Oh shit. Okay, perfect then. It's a nice little dark comedy about good friends and friends taking things a little too far when they like you too much. It's a good little serial killer movie. You'll like it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Always keeping us on our toes, throwing us some shit we don't see very often.
Do what I can. Do what I can.
I like it. I like it. So there you have it. Next week, Clay Pigeons on the Video Store Clerks. Be here 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we will see you next Tuesday.
Simon Says, motherfucker.